Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk by Capers and Parsons. We got our boy Mike here. The holidays are officially over. It's the new year. This is the first episode of 2025. Mike, how we feeling, man?
Um, we doing as best as we can do right now.
All right, let's get it. Let's get directly into it without wasting any time. Jimmy Butler has requested a trade from the Miami Heat a couple days ago. He says he's happy in Miami off the court, but he thinks that it can no longer be salvaged on the court. He lost all of his happiness. Chime in on that, bro.
So it all started back to when we all know Jimmy Butler is the trolling kind of guy. He loves talking shit off the court, loves talking shit on the court. But what basically ended this relationship in a way was when he got injured in the play-in against the Sixers. He injured his MCL, took him out of the entire playoffs. But what ticked Riley off was the fact that he was talking shit off the court, saying, if I was playing, the Knicks would be out, the Celtics would be out, and Pat Riley went on a presser saying, if you ain't playing on the court, shut your damn mouth. And ever since then, that relationship has been unachievable. It wasn't able to achieve a healthy relationship after that. It was broken. And you could tell from after that playoff series, you could tell throughout the season, Jimmy Butler isn't usually the regular season kind of player that we always watch. He's always the playoff performer, put up 56 against the Bucks in the first round. We all know he's playoff Jimmy. That's his nickname. But what's transpired here now is he's apparently lost joy for playing. He wants to play for any team that's not the Miami Heat. And I saw a picture where all the Heat's roster were standing up, hopefully winning this game, and Jimmy was just sitting down.
Yep.
He even said in the presser, lost my joy. Guy asked, can you get it back playing for the Miami Heat? He said, probably not. Like I said in one of the earlier podcasts that we did, I think sometime in December, personally for me, I wanted to move off of Jimmy way earlier than this because it's time to focus on the youth movement. And, we can make a play-in game or whatever. It's fine, stay competitive. But it's time to move into the youth movement with Bam, with Jimmy, with Jaime, with Jovic, Khalil Ware, that sort of youth. And that's where it seems to be going. But this relationship is not going to repair itself, and it's time for both parties to finally move on.
Okay, so let me add. So I love Jimmy Butler, okay? Jimmy Butler, after post LeBron, is the reason I watch Miami. Nobody else. Jimmy Butler. I like Tyler Hero, but Jimmy Butler.
He brought us back into relevancy.
Contradictory. When he first joined Miami, do you remember when he said, I'm so happy to be a part of an organization that holds everybody accountable?
Mm-hmm. That's what Heat culture is all encircled around.
All about.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler talking, and again, I love Jimmy Butler, so this isn't a slight to him. Talking off the court, and Pat Riley says, if you're not on the court playing, you need to be quiet, basically, right?
Holding him accountable for talking shit when you're not on the court.
And now, all of a sudden, the first time he gets held accountable, he wants out?
So, the one thing I've seen on Twitter is...
What?
It's not the fact that the relationship is broken. He's trying to make it sound like it's the organization, but he just wants his break.
Simple as that?
Personally, for me, Butler is not that... He's the kind of guy that likes retaliating and stuff, but there's no way one little sentence from Pat Riley would completely disrupt this entire relationship. That's not how.
Okay,
that's not how he is. He
was more than that.
Spo is the one that he loves. He loves Spo. Maybe it's Riley that he doesn't like, but Spo loves him. And Spo is a coach that will get you. He will get you. So he's someone that will get you accounted for, accountable for. And we saw a couple years ago, him and Haslam were going at Butler. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but, I remember that.
This could be money. It could be a relationship. We don't know. But Jimmy does have a $52 million player option that he could opt into. Why wouldn't he just wait until the end of the season, opt in? If they don't want to give him a contract, fine. You get your bread from your player option. Seek a trade for another team. You could have just waited the entire time, played your ass off, hopefully get a contract extension. Well, not a contract extension. If we couldn't get a contract extension, opt in and trade. But now you're making a whole hassle. You're fucking up the locker room. Everybody is in like a really bad space now. We just lost by 36 to the fucking Jazz the other night. I didn't watch it because I can't anymore. But let's move off of this for a minute. Not from the Jimmy Butler trade, but a different stance on it.
Okay.
Teams that would be able to trade for Jimmy.
I was just getting ready to say that. I was just about to say that. Okay.
So, my personal opinion, I've been seeing a lot of rumors that the Grizzlies are heating up. Could also be the Suns. Could also be the Mavericks. Doubt that. That's probably the least possible area.
Yeah.
Or the Warriors.
Doubt that too.
Now, huh?
No, continue. I said I doubt that too.
Oh, yeah, I do too. But before I get into my perspective, I want to hear your perspective of the teams and what they could potentially have trade pieces for.
Absolutely nothing. So I'm glad you asked me that because the past 2-3 days, I've been doing extensive research on Jimmy Butler and his suitors who can trade for him. Let's go to the Warriors. Let's go to the least likely to the more likely out of the 4 you named.
Okay.
I'll say the least likely is the Mavericks.
I do too.
Jimmy Butler's contract is so big, they can't even do any deal without starting with Klay Thompson, adding PJ Washington, and adding Daniel Gafford, and I don't know, maybe a pick or two. It depends.
I still don't think that salary matches.
Either. No, they have to start with Klay.
What I'm saying is those combined players I still don't think makes up.
No, it matches. Contract. It matches. Those two match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or Najee Marshall who was balling for them.
Yeah, no.
The Mavericks aren't going to do that because why would they trade 3 key pieces that help them get – well, Klay just got there, but 2 key pieces that helped them get to the finals last season. Why would you do that? Now, I know what Jimmy brings, but now you know he's injury prone. He's 36, 35. You're taking 3 players from one. They're not like, no. Okay, so that's them. Golden State to make the salary work. They have to add Wiggins. They have to add Kuminga. They have to add Gary Payton. That's 3 key pieces to their team, plus some picks. They're not going to do that. Now the Suns put themselves in cap hell. So in order to do that trade, you got to start with Bradley Beal. For the Suns, getting Jimmy Butler a dog, that's good for them. Do the Heat want Bradley Beal?
He doesn't really fit anything, to be honest.
Hell no. Mm-mm. And I wouldn't. If I'm not a Heat fan, but if I was a Heat fan, I wouldn't want Bradley Beal. He sucks. I cannot stand him. This is more personal, but I cannot stand him. Okay, the Grizzlies. They are a great team, like well-rounded team, from top to bottom. Ja Morant, for the past couple of years, either he's been suspended, either he's been injury prone. He plays, but there's always some reason why he'll play 5 games and then he's out for 2 weeks. Without him, for years, what are the Grizzlies notoriously known for? Being a great team without him. They play damn near better without him. So what are you going to do? You're going to gut pieces off of your roster to add Jimmy Butler? No. So my point being, like I said, with the research I've done, I don't think he can go anywhere because you have to trade assets. You have to extend him or pay him. Why would you trade assets when you could wait to the offseason and try, you know what I mean, sign and trade, try to pay him? What's the point of doing that?
Well, regardless, he's probably going to pick up the $52 million player option.
He better. Yeah, I mean, if he knows what's good for him, he would. But that's my look on it. I don't think he's getting traded at all.
So I'll start back up from basically where I asked you. So my rankings from least likely to likely is going to be Mavericks, Warriors, Suns, Grizzlies. Reason being, Mavericks, they don't have any assets that the Heat would want, unless it's picks, but they're still going to be a playoff contention team.
Exactly, so it's not going to matter.
Warriors, they're not going to give Kuminga. That's their prized asset. I mean, he's going to want a contract extension by the end of the year. So I mean, they're going to have to pay him $30 million+ for that. The only reason I'm saying that's not going to happen is because they're not going to go with Kuminga because he's been a project player. He's breaking out. I don't see him trading for a 35-year-old Jimmy Butler. Although it does fit the Golden State Warriors timeline with Curry because Curry doesn't have much time left, nor does Butler. So that's the only thing I can see that the Warriors would realistically trade. With the Suns, the one thing that you failed to mention was if we don't want Bradley Beal, there could be a 3-team trade in there.
Oh, okay. I didn't mention that.
So, the only way I could see that 3-team trade going is with the Kings.
Yeah, I was about to say, who joins?
Because,
oh my gosh, okay.
Because of De'Aaron Fox, because De'Aaron Fox, Hero, and Bam all three of them played for Kentucky. They're Kentucky boys.
So they're linked up.
And he will literally fit straight into the team. Hero wouldn't have to, he could just play off ball, he could still play make. De'Aaron Fox is the point guard that we have been looking for the past 5 years. We have had shitty point guard play outside of Dragic. We really haven't had that pure point guard presence. I don't count Terry Rozier because he's terrible. I mean, giving up a first-round pick for him, it was good in the short run. Now it's just showing up that I don't even want to talk about him. The one trade I saw with the Grizzlies was they can get rid of Marcus Smart, Conchar, and Brandon Clark with a couple picks. Or if they don't want to give a couple picks, they'd give Desmond Bane because he has that contract extension that's just hit. So he's making around $28 million. Add Brandon Clark into there, maybe some salary filler and a couple first. Now, the Suns, Kings, and Heat 3-team trade. Would the Kings want Bradley Beal is the question. Now, you're going to be...
No, that's what I was going to... No.
Exactly. So, you don't really have a point guard outside. Devin Carter, I don't know too much about him. I think he's a shooting guard. He's more of a 3D kind of guy. Do they have a point guard outside of De'Aaron Fox that they lean on?
Malik Monk will be the point guard probably.
Okay. So having Malik Monk there, who's not a pure passer.
At all. But he can't pass, though.
With Bradley Beal can sort of kind of not pass, whatever. I'm just trying to hype him up a little bit, I guess. But that, I don't know. But the only way that the Suns would be able to get Jimmy is if it's a 3-team trade. Or a 4-team, however many teams it takes.
3 or 4, okay.
But the thing is, Bradley Beal would have to agree because of the no trade clause. That's the reason why Bradley Beal is so hard to trade. Because he has a no trade clause and he would have to agree to be traded to that team.
But who wouldn't want to play in Miami? Like, are you kidding me? The weather's great.
You're in South Beach.
Exactly. So I don't think him waiving his trade clause to Miami would be an issue.
It's anywhere else that might be an issue.
That's anywhere else that might be the issue. And, bro, the only other scenario that I could really see if you bring the Kings involved is DeMar DeRozan. Because you see, they were a good team. They made the playoffs. They lost. They tried to build on that. They didn't build on it. They missed the playoffs by a game. Now you're like, okay, well, we got this young core. We got 2 stars, a superstar and a star, Sabonis, Fox. We need to add something. They bring DeRozan in. It doesn't fit. He hogs the ball too much. He slows the game down. Whatever. They fire their coach. Whatever. They got a lot of stuff going on. The outlying piece, yeah, you could say Fox, but it's also DeRozan. The Heat aren't going to trade for DeMar DeRozan. Why would you swap a 36-year-old for a 36-year-old on a fat-ass contract unless you're trying to just get salary cap? Think about that, for example, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know.
Second apron.
Okay, yeah, so.
I couldn't tell if that's where you're going, but that's the first thing that popped in my mind.
I don't know. Like, there's nothing for right now, in my opinion, nothing makes sense.
Now, if DeMar DeRozan were to get traded, you obviously would get Beal, you would have Malik Monk. Would Keegan Murray slide into the 3? Or do you think he's better as a stretch 4?
Stretch 4. Well, I guess he could slide into the 3 though, but I don't know.
Because then you could have Trey Lyles and then DeMontis, basically as a start. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ideas.
Yeah, I know.
But
I don't know, bro.
It was just reported that if they can't find a trade for Jimmy Butler, he's still going to end up playing. But I still realistically see him leaving before the trade deadline, just because you don't want to have all that emotion emotional stuff in the locker room. Jimmy comes back expecting to get traded. All the players are like, "Oh, hey, Jimmy, what's going on?" And he's just still in like that frantic attitude that he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So I can't see Pat Riley not trading him before the deadline.
Yeah, but
you don't want to
where?
That's the problem. No one.
Oh, Houston.
Okay, so who are they going to give up?
Hold on, I forgot about that because Houston was a suitor. I don't know why that just popped in my damn head.
Okay, so who would they give up to match
Fred
the salary?
VanVleet to match the salary because Fred VanVleet has a big contract.
That's not
Maybe
bad.
Jabari Smith, the number 2 pick or 3 pick, whatever he was. You can start with there. You can give up some picks. You can give up Jashawn Tate, maybe Tari Eason, and then the Rockets have picks. Now that would be a spot that I could see him going. I completely forgot about the damn Rockets.
What would you do with Terry? Would you just keep him on the bench?
Terry Rozier. I would trade his ass also. Not to them, but in a separate trade.
I'm not gonna lie. Fred VanVleet and Hero would be a nasty backcourt. Not nasty, but it would be a decent one that you can keep for the playoffs.
I like Fred VanVleet a lot. He's just very inconsistent. He's capable of going for 40, and then he's capable of dropping 5 points. So, I like Fred VanVleet though. Outside of Houston, I don't know where he's gonna go, bro. Because you got to think, Houston has the number 2 defense in the whole league, and Jabari Smith is a huge part of that. Fred VanVleet, believe it or not, but you take them out and you add a guy like Jimmy. Jimmy don't play no bullshit. Jimmy's not gonna have a little bullshit ass lollygagging games with Jalen Green. I think Jimmy can make Jalen Green a lot better. I think Jimmy can make that team a lot better. I completely forgot about them. Outside of that, I have no idea where he's going.
Well, all I know is that he wants to be anywhere but here.
That's what he said. Yeah. So, shit.